What's up, guys? Earl at Sumo Bully Kennels back at you with another one. This one is a few months overdue. This is about our boy Kaiju. Spoiler alert, we did lose him in May. And so I thought I would share this episode in light that it may help some of you guys out there make decisions with your dogs. Having them just going to the doctor on regular and having their checkup. So yeah, I want to share this one. We lost him in May, about 4 or 5 days before he turned 1 year old. This is him on the screen. You can see very promising dog right there. This was these were like 10-month pictures too. Beautiful tri-lilac, nice spread, good bloodline. And this was he was our second dog purchase when we started our program. Look at him right there, just an amazing, beautiful boy. Let me show him to you in our Insta page. That was him when we got him. And there he is there. This is gosh, what month update was this? I believe he was like 8 months here. Big old head on him, very nice. Good shoulders, good spread, clean feet. Beautiful dog overall. My son's favorite. Love to play. Let's see this. This is 8 months. Yep, this is an 8-month update. Right here, he was about 100-something pounds. This was January 20th. Cold outside. Took this picture. But I really like this boy. Had a ton of potential. Here he is here. You'll see him playing with the snow. He loved to play with that snow blower or water, period. Gosh, I'm reminiscing about this boy. There you go. 7-month update right here. 7 months. Look at that. Just a beautiful boy. Very handsome too. I like his face. Oh gosh. So yeah, no, I wanted to share this episode. Got him as a pup. He was always a big pup, chubby pup. Kind of had a belly on him, which I never paid attention to because he's a puppy, you know, and he certainly ate a lot, for sure. So his energy levels were good. He had good play drive, good toy drive, good food drive. Walk no problem, ran. Loved the flirt pull. My son just loves playing with the flirt pull with this guy. So, you know, there was nothing alarming or no concerns. I mean, he had all his vaccinations. Heart check, everything was good. And there was really nothing alarming that would have gave us a reason to suspect that something was going on with this guy. So, fast forward. There he is, Kaiju baby. My son's favorite dog. Handsome. Gosh, man, what a loss. So our girl started going to heat, and he started not eating as much, you know. And I basically, you know, I dismissed it because our other boy Genghis is the same way. Girls go in heat, it just throws his eating off. Like, he'll eat a little bit, walk away from it. Sometimes he'll finish it, sometimes he won't. So I credited it to girls in heat. Drank water regularly. I mean, I'm trying to think of any signs. Nothing really. I'm telling you, there was nothing I could point to that just would have given me some kind of inkling that something was really wrong. Gosh. Anyhow, he stopped eating completely. So we're like, okay, girls are in heat. We have a lot of girls on the yard. So girls going to back-to-back heat, you know. But still, like, he just stopped eating, period. So we were mixing, we feed raw here, so we bought kibble. Maybe he just was tired of his food. We bought canned food and mixed it with kibble. We boiled eggs. We did, chicken chunks, canned chicken chunks, anything to get him to eat. And he would barely eat. This is where the problem started progressing, right? He wouldn't eat, and we noticed his belly kept expanding. I was like, okay, that ain't right. Right? You could tell he's starting to lose his muscle tone on his shoulders. He's starting to like shrink up and dry up. But his belly was humongous. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Okay, so rewind. When he was young, okay, and I found this odd because this is the only dog that I've ever had like this. When he was young, he'd lay down and, he would dribble out of his private part, like dribble pee. And I'm like, that's weird. He'd just be laying there sleeping and you would see the dribbling coming out of, his private parts. It's like he's wetting the bed, right? But he's just sleeping. So I'm like, that's weird. I was like, never paid attention to it because I never had a dog like that. As he got older, he kept doing it still. So we would always, wipe down his undercarriage 2 or 3 times a week because he would smell like pee, And he had, one of those raised beds, the typical beds in a kennel. And we would have to wash that thing out every other day because it would smell like pee. But still, I never had a dog do that. And there was nothing, there was no other signs, The way he ate, the way he drank water, the way he played, everything about him, but there was no signs of being wrong. Took him to the vet, got him all his shots, inspected him, nothing. So towards the end of his life, when he stopped eating completely and his stomach was like expanded, I'm like, man, did he eat something and swallow it? And it can't pass through, And I'm like, no, he's very regulated, right? I'm looking at the yard, there's nothing. So, long story short, took him to the vet and we did some blood work on him to check the functions of his organs. We get the blood test back, nothing, negative. Everything works well. So it's like, what now? And this is the part that may help you if you see something wrong with your dog. Is my vet then recommended we go get an ultrasound on his belly to see what is going on in there. We went to get an ultrasound. They looked and they said, man, he's bleeding internally, right? He's going to go septic, or he is septic already. So at that point, the place where we did the ultrasound, they were not an urgent care or emergency care place. So they referred us out to an emergency vet clinic. Took him there. They called our vets, got the results from the blood work, the ultrasound, everything else. They did their own ultrasound, x-rays, everything. Whatever they needed to do to make a determination of what was going on. And that's where we got the bad news. It was his kidney. His kidney was leaking out slowly. And that's why his belly was so big. It would cause so much pressure, because we told him about the peeing thing. Like all that fluid would cause so much pressure that he wouldn't be able to control his bladder and he would pee. Ultimately, the doctor said this is not a condition that you caused. It's not caused by trauma. And the way he looks, he's had this for a very long time. And his body was just able to deal with it somehow. So to imagine from the time he was a puppy till almost a year old, he's been living in discomfort, which sucks, right? That tells you, our breed, that their tolerance for pain is very high, to be honest with you. because even like they sedated him and everything, and he was still like he had a lot of spirit, right? Like, this is a dog that you can't get to quit when you're playing with him on the flirt bowl. So after the doctor told me that, I'm like, well, what could cause something like that? Because what's important for me is to understand what caused him to get that way, and so that if it's something that I can control, maybe it's something I overlooked, or maybe it's just a freak accident. I needed to know why, so that I would never have this issue again. And basically, the doctor said there's nothing yet you did wrong. My dogs eat raw. They're on NuVet, New Joint Plus. They go for their regular checkups. I mean, name it. We go above and beyond for these dogs. Building facility, heated, air-conditioned space, a shower in their own area. I mean, when you talk about commitment to this breed and to the dogs, I mean, to me, having a dog is a lifestyle. So if I'm going to get a dog, I'm going to make sure that I have what I need to facilitate the kind of environment that I want my dog to be in. And that really sucked. So ultimately, the vet said, nope, this is something that, a malformation in the dog he was born with. Nothing you could have caused, and everything else. So I guess in that regard, I was relieved that I wasn't the cause of him having this condition and passing away. And the ultimatum was, we can try to correct the issue, and he has they would do a surgery, and the surgery was $15,000, and he would have a 50-50 chance to survive the surgery, number one, because he's already septic. And then if he survived the surgery, he had a 50-50 chance of surviving, period. And to what quality of life, we don't know. And that's when when you're in this breeding, having family pets, period, that's when the hard decisions come. You have to make these hard decisions, and we had him euthanized. The risk was too great. The cost was too great. The guarantee was very minimal. And some of you may disagree or agree with me on that. These dogs are expensive to begin with, and so is the quality of care that we provide. And it just, as a family, we met, my son, my wife. We got together and made a decision. And we went there and spent some time with him. Spent 3-4 hours with him. We all cried our eyes out. And we were there until he went out. They euthanized him with us in the room. And we have his ashes. So, glum story. And I hate to be so glum, guys, but I think it's important to share these kind of stories, these kind of experiences, right? If you see your dog something regular, even if you don't see, right? What does it cost? If you have, okay, and I don't want to sound rude about this, if you have a high value dog, right? In which case, any dog that you love is high value, to be honest. What is the cost of getting blood work done to make sure their internal organs are functioning properly? Well, the cost is not much, especially if you're not going to an emergency vet or urgent care. Just a regular standard. Go to your vet, have the pulled. It's probably under $250. And the chances of your dog having any kind of internal organ malfunctions, especially at this age, it's not likely at all. That's what my doctor was saying. Like, I have his litter mate, Snickers, who we call Pooh. perfectly healthy. He has other litter mates that I know who owns them, perfectly healthy. Because right away I called. I was like, hey, listen, he had this. Get your dog checked, because it would be irresponsible of me to deal with an issue like this with my dog and not make the breeder aware and not make anyone else aware who I knew had his litter mates, right? That's, to me, sharing that information may cause, to raise awareness for other owners of his siblings, his litter mates, to maybe get some tests done or pay attention to their dog, right? So that they don't have to deal with this heartache and expense. The cost of attachment is the most expensive. We love this dog. My wife loved this dog. I love this dog. My son loved this dog. He was with us for under a year, and we had so many memories with him. Loved to play, endless on the flirt pole. Likes, plays a little bit with a bite sleeve, but he likes the flirt pole the best. Loves chasing snow with a snowblower. And it sucks, a dog of this caliber, with everything that we invested into him, all the care, everything that we prepared to have him have his space. I mean, you're talking about a $17,000 to $20,000 loss, right? By the time I took him to emergency vets, urgent cares, his crop, his everything, what I feed him, the vitamins, the love, the care, the time I put in this dog, I'm just under 20 grand. It's not cheap, especially when you see something you like, and that's the kind of quality that you want. You're not gonna buy, let's say a Ferrari and take it to Midas for an oil change. It doesn't work that way. You're gonna give it the correct, proper care that it needs based on the quality of what you have. And really, I grieved this dog for a few months. Didn't want to talk about it, and really sharing it to a lot of you guys is pay attention to your dog. It might be, dogs can be off for a day or two, especially with girls in heat or whatever. Sometimes they get upset stomach. They eat something when you're walking them, but pay attention to them. Really do. A big telltale sign for dogs to me is how they eat, what their poo looks like, and how they're urinating. Those are key things. Look at the tongue, look at the gums if it's pale. I look for those kind of signs. Look at the energy of the dog, right? Your dog's personality is the dog outside of his character or not. Because even when he wasn't eating, he'll still hit the flirt pole hard. He'll still hit that A-frame and run and hit the stairs with my son. That's the crazy part, as he was in pain and he'd still do that. Just because he had that drive to hang out and be happy and play with us. Meanwhile, he's in freaking dire pain and we didn't know it. Sucks. Really does, guys. So, moral of the story with this episode, guys, pay attention to your dogs. When buying a dog, I guess, get it from a reputable breeder who health checks their dogs. This guy I got from a reputable breeder, and that breeder's a friend of mine, Jose Miranda. Produced a lot of great dogs. His dogs are healthy. The father is healthy. The mother is healthy. This is one of those freak things. This is a one-off, right? As a breeder, he's going to replace this dog because that's his guarantee, 1-year health guarantee, that he would replace the dog if something happened with a dog that was outside of my care, something genetic, so he's going to replace the dog. I'm going to accept a replacement because that's his word, and that kind of makes me whole. However, now I'm getting a whole new puppy, right? That may or may not look like this dog, the one I picked. I don't have a year into that dog, raising that dog, and I don't have the cost of attachment. So I'll let that one settle in, guys. I mean, it's look, ethically, I commend him. I thank him for being a stand-up person, stand-up breeder. to know that I invested in his productions and he would replace the dog. But I mean, just the money loss I have and the time loss and the heartache, you know, and it's not his fault. It's not like he wants this dog to have to go through that. He didn't make the dog that way. Again, it was a freak thing. None of the other dogs have this issue. Only the one I picked, right? I just got the win of the lottery on that one. So it's not the breeder's fault. It's not my fault. It's Murphy's Law, right? I always say that, guys, in my other videos. Like, life happens. It'll kick you in the you-know-where and sit you down. And typically when things like that happen, it affects your heart, your pocket, and it affects your vibe, your spirit, right? Something like this. I took some time off from doing videos. After this happened, I kind of, I just didn't have the motivation. I didn't have that same drive to create videos and talk about this breed, or about breeding, or about anything that in the realm of bullies, especially in the XLs. I did not have the drive to talk about it. I just lost one of my second, this was my second dog. I love this dog, beautiful dog. Based on his pedigree and everything else, he turned out the way I wanted him to, and then I lose him like that. And he already had like 2 people waiting to sign up with his his early lock-ins, but he wasn't a year yet, so I wasn't going to take no deposit. I was going to wait till he was a year, then open him up for 3 early locks. And I already had 2 people like, cool, as soon as he hits a year, let me know, I'm in, because they saw what I saw. And heartbreaker, guys. Heartbreaker, man. Hurts the wallet, hurts, man, your momentum, hurts your energy, your vibe. Painful for the family as well. It's not like we tucked this guy in a closet and never, this is part of our family, this guy. Anyone who is into dogs, you gotta love dogs to be into this. To, have this dog life and to pick up poo every day and everything else, man. If you don't love this, this ain't for you. But gosh, man, in honor of our baby Kaiju, I'm gonna expand his face here. I wanted to share this episode so that it may bring awareness. I don't care if you have bullies, or I don't care what kind of dog you have. If you're a dog person, I'm a dog person. We get along. And so I wanted to share this one so that we don't take your dog for granted and just like be dismissive, like, oh, he's just not feeling well today. Pay attention, guys. Because if it goes south, I promise you it's a heartache, man. And especially if you knew there was something you could have done about it earlier versus later, right? So I putting this episode out there, sharing my my heavy heart, I guess, in hopes that it may help somebody. I did an episode on here with somebody I helped who had a dog, Lamel Bledsoe, who reached out to me on Insta, and I helped him out with his dog. And then something like this happens to me. So, with that said, don't mean to sound so gloomy on a Sunday, guys. If nothing else from this experience, it's taught me to be more aware of my dogs and really look at them. So I hope that does the same thing for you guys. And with that said, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. Sorry, a little bit of hard one to talk through. And I'll catch you guys in the middle of the week. We have the Clausen Fortuna litter. Pups are huge. They're amazing. They're monsters. Super healthy pups. Very happy about that. Sorry about that. Moved that by accident. Yeah, I'll do the 2-week update, guys. There's a lot of you reaching out to me, so thank you so much for the support on that. But midweek, I'll do a 2-week update on our litter, the Brazil on Brazil litter, Mr. Klaus, and Fortuna litter. Okay. Until next time, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Earl with Sumo Bully Kennels, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.